Have you ever eaten anything that looked to be absolutely gross? Turns out it was good? I'm Solomon, helping you engage prophecy to restore America. So I had this dream, very interesting dream. And the way that the dream started was that my wife and I were on a sidewalk of a certain area, not familiar with the area. There were a few cars parked in front of us. It seemed to be in the city, somewhere in the city, a city. And there were people nearby, just people we didn't know, going to and fro. There were cars driving back and forth on the streets. Just a normal every day in the dream. And I assumed that we were about to cross the street, and suddenly there came, just off to my left, an African-American man who looked to be like he was homeless. He was dressed in tattered clothing, either that or he was very poor. And the first thing I see, the first thing I saw him doing was, stay away, stay away. He was telling people, that anybody that was near him, to stay away. And at first I was kind of confused because, why would he be saying that? Then I looked down and I saw these two fairly large sized cavities in his right knee. And there were bees living in his knee. One cavity on the left, one cavity on the right. The total number of bees were 3, but they were large sized bees, bigger than your average bumblebee. There were 2 in the right side of the cavity of his knee, and 1 in the left. Well, as I said, the man's telling everybody to stay away. So everybody in the area, or the few people nearby us, including myself, moved away. No, not my wife. Not my wife. She is curious about the bees, and she goes towards the man, not because she wants to talk to him, but she's curious about the bees. My wife likes animals. So she's going towards this man, in a gesture like, she wants to see the bees. She was not bothered by the bees living in his knee. Everybody else was grossed out by this sight of bees coming out of this man's knee. It was just nasty. So I walk away. I'm around the corner. I learned a long time ago not to, my wife wants to do something, she's going to do it. So I didn't stop her. I moved away. I'm around the corner at this point. But there was one bee that I told you about that was living in one part of the knee by itself, and it flew out. And it was mostly not because it was violent, but the people started running because the sight of it living in someone's knee just grossed them out. And it did to me also. So I'm around the corner, maybe 10 yards away from my wife, maybe 20 yards. And this bee comes around the corner, tries to land on me, and I'm not letting it. And it was a good sized bee. And I just wasn't having it laying on me. I wasn't sure that the bee was trying to sting me or not, but it was just, remembering how awful it looked, the sight of the bee living in the man's knee. And that was the end of the dream. So what the understanding I came away with this is that the Lord has something wonderful coming for our nation, but specifically the African American people. You've heard of the expression, the bee's knees, and it has to do with something outstandingly good, because bees make honey. It's sweet. They make honey, it's sweet. But the bees in this situation was in the man's knee. And it was gross. So what I understood from the dream was that the Lord was going to do something, has in the works, something that's going to benefit the African American community greatly. But many, sadly enough, won't receive it because of who or what it's coming from. As it is that bees are known for their work. They work very hard to build up their honeycomb, for the queen. And they're just, everybody knows that bees are worker bees. They work. and it takes time for them to build their nest, their honeycomb, to produce this honey that comes out from it. So that the first appearance of this, of what God is doing, is going to be one that at first appears to be, not a lot of people are going to receive, but over time it's going to reveal how wonderful, how sweet, what the outcome wasn't what people, what it was at first glance, and it's going to benefit many. And so I thought this was a great dream. Some part of it's sad because some people are going to judge the situation, have preconceived ideas that nothing good could come out of this, and just not, it won't benefit them. So just wanted to share this dream and give some understanding, maybe some hope, some encouragement. If you want to understand more about what God's going to do and the role that we're going to play, check out my next video called A Factor Shaping Your Leadership Role. See you in the next one.